Hey folks, welcome in. Good to see you, EG. What is random, dark, and table entail? So far we don't have random goals, we just have a completely random challenge in the sense that it's a custom run where all the settings are randomly determined. I wrote a little generator in JavaScript and it's posted there. You're welcome to play around with it. The current challenge, the one that we randomly generated, produced a code which is there, which you can plug in to see exactly what we got. But it's yeah, it's kind of an interesting blend. We have some elements of this run that feel very much like Pilgrim, and other things are definitely much more like Loper or Nagoa. So, but on the whole, it's been fairly kind to us. Although there have been a number of interesting challenges. So, all right. So right now, for instance, despite the fact that we let's see, to start the fact we started with high starting gear. So we had matches, we had bedroll, and we had, yeah, matches and bedroll. We also started with high loot in the world. So the baseline resources is high, but there's no birch bark tea healing. Um, and hyperthermia is super long recovery time, and condition loss from a lot of things is pretty high. Wildlife is passive, and wildlife sensing is far, which means hunting is actually pretty hard because things run away. You have to shoot them at quite some distance. Okay, so let's see what we have here. And blizzards are frequent. They're like fairly high regularity. Wind variability is high. A lot of times we're traveling without a torch because the torch gets blown out all the time. Let's see here. So let's see. We still have more guts to cure. We don't actually have to wait for them to cure completely, but we have a large supply of meat. I think we'll just keep eating meat until we're ready to leave. Also, wait to see if we've got a the wolf ever shows up. Hey, Roller, good to see you. Hey, welcome in. Welcome in, Raiders. I don't think I know Flashbang. Welcome in, Flashbang. Are you coming in from playing Long Dark? You are. Okay.
So I try to practice getting these guys with the rock. Oh, look at that. That's the first time I actually got one with a rock. Awesome.
Yeah, and then they run away.
Well, I hit it.
Joe's a new TLD streamer. Well, welcome in. Why don't we give you a follow as well? Let's see here. Come on, there you are. We'll give you a follow. Yeah, welcome in. Yeah. So I am a fairly long time TLD player. I've been streaming now for, it feels like almost 3 years now, 2.5, 3 years. And I've been playing the game on and off since late beta. So I'm fairly familiar with the game. I've played about 750 hours in Stalker and over 2,200 hours in Interloper. And I always started playing Interloper when I started streaming. So we've got nothing else here. But yeah, so a little bit about me. You can read my short little bio thing here. Kind of wear a lot of different hats. And if you want to know the challenge we're working on right now, it's kind of a crazy thing I put together. One of the main hats I wear is programmer. And so sometimes I get these ideas in my head that I should write a random generator. And so I did. I decided to make a completely randomized custom run. So like you can hit the generator and it produces a random selection of custom settings that you run with, and it's kind of fun. This is our first attempt at using the generator, and it's given us a kind of a wild setup. Oh, rabbits are back. Ah, short. Oops, too much jerkiness. That was bad. How come that didn't... Uh-oh. It's doing that thing again. I set my mouse pretty sensitive, and then I have to deal with the fact that it's too sensitive. Oh, it broke. Oh, we have so many rabbit hides and rabbit guts. Okay, we broke another arrow. This is not good. We need more feathers and less of these. So how was your run? What happened on your run? Flashbang, what were you up to? So what are we at right now? We have no arrows left. We have no arrows left. Well, that sucks. Not even fire hardened. Do we have enough feathers? Yeah, we can make some fire hardened ones if we have to. But we need to make some real arrows too for hunting wolves. We better coat. How heavy are we right now? So I'm tempted to start moving us over to the new location.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
You know what? We can't take all of it. It's too much. 54. Okay, tell you what. We're going to leave everything that's not cured yet. Yeah, there's more meat here, but easier challenge. Collect 6-pack of Summit Soda from anywhere but Timberwolf Mountain. Drink them at the Vista Point. That's kind of fun. Yeah, I think like playing Stalker really taught me to be hyper paranoid about wolves. So I have now kind of a sixth sense whenever I feel like I'm about to be attacked. And that's usually helpful, but occasionally I am not able to protect myself and we just die. So my record so far has been, what was it? What's our record right now? Our record for Interloper is 303 days. Yeah. We broke 300 on a run. And actually, technically that run's still going. We just ended it because we reached our goal. We visited every single region while having to spend a random amount of time in each region. So every time we entered a region, we rolled a die and it told us how many days we had to stay there, and then over time the amount, the size of the die increases, so it gets longer and longer. So the 303 was actually not a run that was meant for longevity. It was actually meant to try to finish that challenge. But in the course of like having to be very, very careful in order to achieve that challenge, we ended up successfully making it all the way past 300 days. Usually I get bored after 100 days, so. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, we're moving house. We want to... There's an off chance, I feel like I think there might be a workbench in here, but I can't remember. So I think we're going to try. It may just be a table. I know there's a room. I just can't remember if there's a workbench in it. There might not be a workbench. It'd be really helpful if there was. We could craft some more arrows. Otherwise, it's broken railroad. Actually, I'll keep going on this one. Okay, we'll see you in a little bit, Laszlo. Thanks for stopping in. We'll try not to die before then. Yeah, feel free to take care of yourself if you need to take a post-stream break. Well, this channel, yeah, we talk about all sorts of stuff. In addition to being open to any questions you have about TLD, can't promise that I'll know all the answers, but I do try. I'm also someone who likes talking about literature and creative writing and D&D. and the history of artificial intelligence and 19th century technology. Mystery novels, all sorts of stuff like that. And at the end of the stream, we usually wrap up by reading a poem or two, depending on what people request. Nice. Okay, this is not a workbench, it's a regular desk. I was hoping. Oh, 10 minutes. I missed the poem request. Okay. Let's see. Yep, there was. Roller made a poem request. Okay, so let's take care of that in a second here. Just satisfy our curiosity about. Ooh,
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Drop those. Oh, look, more matches. Fuel. Yet another lantern. Yeah, I didn't think we'd be so lucky as to find a workbench in here. That'd make this place too useful. Oh, there's even a miner's
I
flashlight.
think I can use this.
Oh, those things are heavy though. We'll have to think about what we want to do with all this stuff. Okay, so for now, let's just empty our pockets. We'll come back for that guy later. Okay, let's read a poem here. Okay, so poem request time. Let us go with our random poem chooser. You can see I like writing generators. Poem chooser. Where's my poem chooser? There you are, poem chooser. Approaching Infinity. Okay, so this is a poem that is not in either of my books. This is actually more recently written work. Let's see here. Okay. Bring this over to the side. Okay, so this is Approaching Infinity. Okay, everyone loves a good math poem. Approaching Infinity. Pre-calculus, we considered the limits of things, tried to determine what value an expression held at a given point in time, watched the arc, the trajectory, the slope of the line, the teacher would say. We'd nod, look both ways, observe where it'd been, where it was headed, what to do when it broke down, failed to arrive, nothing over nothing, what to make of infinity spread wide over the void, over an unknown field. This year, my father approaches 60 again, as he has every year for the past decade, his body a void within a void, a scattering of variables they could not solve in time. From where we stand, the future remains an unworkable approximation. The pencils grow silent. I hear geese far above us, winding their way south. If I turn my head just right, I might see my father now, a thin shadow trembling at the edge of view, that almost imperceptible hesitation before the second hand moves, before this moment is carried into the next, the sky inching towards night, the space between us, the distance between one dying star and another. So yeah, that is Approaching Infinity. So as you can tell, the poem actually takes its inspiration for two different things. One, just my father passed away when he was 59. And as it happens, he passed away on my birthday. So every year it's kind of an opportunity for me to reflect both on the life I'm living as well as to remember and to recognize, the wonderful experiences I had with my father before ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, took him from us. And so, so for me, there's this way in which he's now fixed in time. He's always going to be 59. And some of the language of the poem draws on a class I took when I was in university, and my undergraduate degree was in computer science, and I minored in mathematics. I took a class called Boundary Value Problems, which was all about solving partial differential equations where they broke down, where you would end up, if you tried to evaluate them by plugging something in, you would end up with 0 over 0, which is unresolvable. So then these were the strategies that you used to figure out what is the value of the equation, a best approximation. And you would approach it from the left and from the right and think about, like, what was the function doing? Did it meet? Did it avoid each other, come in, swing in two different directions? What's happening there, as asymptotically approaches? And so, so thinking about that, like when something makes no sense and yet you still have to approach it over and over again, what does that mean? And then thinking too, like a lot of the poems in this third unfinished manuscript, take their inspiration too from aspects of space, and so the fact that all of what we see is already gone, right? So all the light we see in the stars is from stars that have already died. There's very little that we see that's actually still in existence. And so that kind of discrepancy in time, that we are just really capturing an echo of things, is fascinating to me. And so the way in which time itself is an illusion, both in terms of how we approach it, and it seems to never arrive, and at the same time, we grow further and further away from each other. So, yay, cheery thoughts about poetry and mortality. There you go. So anyways, that is Approaching Infinity. Yeah. Okay, so we are back. Full circle. Oh, on his own birthday. Yeah. So, yippers. So much easier when we're not carrying all that extra weight. I mean, we could just goat down, but... It's okay. So I had the opportunity this afternoon to meet up with a writer friend of mine who is visiting from Toronto to be out here to accept an award for a magazine that she founded several years ago. Really cool, right? So came all the way out here to Vancouver, and we got to catch up for a little bit late lunch. And then she had to go off to her award ceremony, and I had to come back and try to do some last minute troubleshooting for someone's website. So we're going to go back here, we're going to build a fire, we're going to boil some water because we're low. Oh, we should have taken the rabbit with us so we could cook the rabbit. Saying I troubleshoot instead of troubleshoot. Ha ha ha. Very funny. Yeah, if you didn't catch the reference, it's because over the last few years, one of the ways that I've ended up branching out into new areas is I've been working with composers, and one of my composers got commissioned to do an opera a couple years ago with LA Opera, and she invited me to be the librettist, to develop the story and to write the text, the words that will actually be sung. And so we did that for LA Opera, a short 22-minute opera for them. And then she won this major commission to do a full-length experimental opera. And she again asked if I would be interested in being the librettist. And I said, yeah, that would be cool. And then I said, what in the world are we doing? Because I've never written a full-length opera before. And so it's been quite the learning experience. We been through a few drafts already, and I have notes to work on over the weekend. Actually, over, I guess, the next couple weeks. Try to get something together. I have to rewrite the prologue. The thing is, they don't actually have to be long, a lot of these sections that I have to work on. They don't have to be long, but they have to hit certain story points, or they have to, you have to accomplish certain tasks. Like, I need the audience to have a clear sense of what's at stake, and I need to know, I need to create an emotional connection for them with the characters. So. Okay, we'll boil some more water then. Okay, so what do we got here that we don't need? Don't need this one. How long is that going to? Hour and 30 minutes. Yeah, that's not going to be done. Well, we can leave that here because we're never going to need it anywhere else. We still don't have a whetstone. Yeah, I think we're just going to haul everything else up with us.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Perfect. Yeah. So I've been recovering for the last few days, ever since Monday. Monday I did something super stupid. I was sitting at my desk working on something, and I decided I need to grab something from beside me that was on the ground. So I turned to the left, twisted my back, and bent down, and somehow managed to pull something. So I pulled something in my lower back, and now I've been suffering since then. Slowly healing, but thankfully it's not sciatica. It's just very localized pain. It's starting to get better, but yeah, the hardest thing for me to do is like get in and out of bed, get out of a car. Get off of the toilet seat. Yeah. It's such an old person problem to have. I'm like, I'm waiting for the day where I fall over and can't get myself back up again. That'd be terrible. Well, the get out of the chair is not too bad. Like the chair I'm sitting in right now, it's got arms on it, so armrests, I can use those. And I've got the desk next to me too, so I can push myself out. And if I spend some time earlier in the day practicing my bending and stretching a little bit, I'm less stiff and I can get in and out okay. But yeah. Well, partly it's the accumulation of things. Like one thing goes, and then it suddenly reveals the whole chain of other things that are going at the same time. That's the part that you don't want. Like, why did I get injured? Because I spent too much of the summer at my desk. Honestly, that's probably the problem. I just haven't been moving around as much as I do in the regular year. In the academic school year, I have to get around, go to classes, stuff like that. So I'm like, it's not super physically active, but it's more physically active than I've been. The new job that I have is pretty much all remote, so I don't even have to leave, and that's been a problem. So I've actually had to change my schedule such that I force myself to leave my desk, go for a short walk, go run an errand somewhere, try to move around. And I had plans to be even more physically active, to go for longer walks and to I started to do more exercising, and that's all been kind of knocked down because of the injury has slowed me down, so I can't physically manage to do like more physically active stuff. I have to scale, right? Okay, let's see what we got here. Try to stay a little bit more organized here. Yeah, the pandemic did not help at all. That definitely did not help. Because then it gave me even more excuses not to go anywhere. And at the time had moved back in with I pulled the plug just before the pandemic. I had pulled the plug on a... Oh, we can't even get out there. Oh, interesting. We shall not pass, I guess. No pry bar. Can't even build a fire out there. Well, let's see, we could go out there, we could go out the front here. That's a longer walk. We're gonna cook the rabbit on the porch of the world. Because you're no longer able to use the nature park path. I mean, as long as you don't run into other people, I guess it's fine, but there's a lot of other people that want to use the park path, and I guess that's where it gets into trouble. Yeah, the other sign of old age is that old age and being out of shape is that my feet have started ever since I got back, really. So like at the end of April I got back here, and I noticed that at night my feet are starting to swell, and it's like, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. That says I should have been more physically active. Get more blood circulating, but oh, don't blow my fire out. But anyways, the plan is... Come on. Just want this to cook. That's all we wanted to do. We just wanted to cook the meat.
It's getting dark out here. Time to look for shelter.
Let's see where we're going to put our bedroll. Someplace without sparking wires. Okay. See? I knew it. I knew it would be an Aurora. You know the game is out to get you, right? So you have to be wise. Oh, I forgot to drop the... This is what we need to do with our time. We still have these guys to... Oh, it's frozen. What was that? Okay, so let's fix our boots now. $17. We're rocking it. Okay, lots of stuff still. What we're looking for is whetstone so we can start saving, sharpening up our weapons again. Come on, pry bar. Piece of coal. flare. Oh, nice. Okay, so we can upgrade here. I'll fix it up shortly. So this run started off someplace very different than where I usually start my runs. I accidentally hit the wrong button, and we spawned in the Forlorn Airfield, or the Forsaken Airfield. That's a long way from anything, so we somehow survived that start. Pry bar. We now have a pry bar. Okay, so we have the option to go back and open up the side passage. That would be really good. Give us access to... There's a trolley up there, too. Yay, pry bar. Okay, I'll just peek out here. Give some more sticks. We really need to find the whatchamacallit, the cache out here. I think it's the one that has the arrow shafts, which would be very helpful. Okay, we're gonna double back. Put the pry bar, go back and camp in the tunnel. Did we accidentally go backwards? Did we get turned around? No, we didn't. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Let's see how our pry bar fares. What's this wonderful door? Okay. What? Another pry bar? Ooh. Ooh. That's how many pry bars? 3 pry bars. We went from 0 to 3. That's pretty low.
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
Ski jacket. Yeah, I know. That's really sad.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Well, most of our pry bars are going to go and fuel our next forge when we get to whatchamacallit, Broken Railroad. Too early to rest. What to do, what to do. I don't have to wait for them to cure. I'm actually waiting until I eat enough that I don't have to travel with that much weight. Right now I have too much stuff I want to bring with me, so I'd either have to do it in 2 trips, or I can wait a little bit until I've eaten through most of my food reserves. Since wildlife is passive on this run, thank you, random challenge, wildlife is passive, we don't actually have to sit around and wait for, you know, we don't have to have a bow in hand or deal with the wolves. Exactly. We're relatively safe that way. Yep. I am feeling, though, once again, that I'm still recovering from my injury, so I don't think I can make it the full 2 hours. I'll probably just wrap it at an hour and a half again. Then about half an hour. I'll try to go another half an hour. So I think our goal is to make it into whatchamacallit, into Broken Railroad. I think we have enough cured that we should be able to make rabbit hat and mitts. I think we're at that point.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Okay, I think I'm gonna have to take a short break to stretch. So hold on for a few minutes. I'll be back in about 5 minutes, I think. Thanks, and we'll see you soon. Okay, we're back in business. I don't know. Should we just try to move more stuff out? How much weight did we manage?
I can barely walk with this much gear.
46. None. We're still moving. That's good. We're under 50, under 60 so far. Okay, this puts us at what? Under 60 still. Okay, so we're still moving. It's not a healthy weight. Astrid might have to shed some weight. So, like, thinking about this challenge in particular, I think our goal is to make it 50 days on whatever we get. Get to 50 days. Whether or not we continue past there, that's a different story. But I think we should at least try to push to 50 days on any run that we get. Because these are custom runs, they're not going to count towards our longest run challenge, so that's not going to factor in. But we can at least make them interesting. What can we do in that first 50 days with a completely messed up customization? So this already, like this particular set of settings has given us some opportunities and definitely influenced our strategy. We're doing things that we would never actually do normally. One, since all the wildlife is passive, we can haul around like all the meat and guts with us without even a torch. You know. Two, because cold damage is extremely slow in this run. We actually can afford to just walk around for long periods of time, even the weather is miserable. As long as we don't tip all the way into into hypothermia. Once we get hypothermia, the recovery time is terrible for that setting. But until we get there, we're largely impervious to the cold. So that means, yeah, a lot longer outside. And those two things would mean if we had better map knowledge in some regions, we could just keep pushing through a region even in the dark, even while carrying food and guts. Ooh. I think I'm gonna have to stretch more tomorrow. Tomorrow I have a client meeting in the afternoon. I'm helping someone with their most recent, they're working on a new draft of a brand new novel. So things are still very much in development. Oh, I was thinking of something cool. I forgot to share something. This happened. This was very wild. So I got an email earlier this week from, it was fan mail. What happened there? We managed to sprain our ankle. We legitimately sprained our ankle. Wow. I guess if you're really, really overweight, you can actually sprain your ankle. think it was for just walking. I sprained my ankle. Nothing else. Anyway, so like the fan mail came from someone who wasn't a fan of my poetry. No, even wilder. They're someone who grew up playing. They wrote because they said one of their favorite childhood games growing up was Pirate Raider, Imaginext Pirate Raider. And they loved this particular computer game. They loved playing it when they were growing up. And they still love the game. And so they had been doing some research into the game and had always wondered what had happened to the lead programmers, those people that worked on the game. And so this person had found the information about the game, looked through the credits, and saw my name, and then decided to search to see if they could figure out if they could find me. And they tracked down my website, and they contacted me and said, "Are you the same person as the one that was on the lead programmer on this title?" I just wanted to say how much I enjoyed the game, and was wondering if you would answer a few questions. And so, yeah, I wrote back and I said, "Yeah, that's me." I went on and did a bunch of other stuff afterwards, but happy to answer any questions. Then I haven't heard back from them, so I have no idea. Hopefully they'll get back to me eventually. But I thought it was pretty wild. Fan mail for a computer game I worked on a long time ago. That's, when did that release? That was 2002 or 3, maybe? So yeah, like, wow, that makes you feel old. 21 years ago? $21 years ago. 21 years ago, I was a computer games programmer. Yep. Many lives of Babbage Nader. Many lives. But yeah, so that I think is pretty cool and wild to get fan mail for a computer game you worked on over 20 years ago. Man. Is it because we're walking on the rails? Or is it just there's a percentage chance of twisting our ankle when we walk this far? Alright. We're good. We're gonna have to really hope we find some arrow shafts at the maintenance yard. Okay, let's find the note. Why are these ones already? Wow, interesting. Wisik. Why is this already searched? We haven't been here before, have we? Did we check this already? Maybe we did check this already. Now I'm starting to get paranoid. Come on, give us feathers. Broken bridge.
Best be prepared for anything. I'll take it.
Matches. No shortage of matches.
Okay.
So I'm excited to make base here because we'll be able to hunt bears, maybe even a moose. But also we should be able to find lots of saplings, so I think this is a good spot. Even if we're moving super slow. Got some extra coffee. We'll power through with that. Okay. There's a road. Slow, slow, slow march.
The sun is setting. It's gonna get a lot colder soon.
Oh yeah.
Looks like this has been here a while.
Yeah, all our animals have sense me at a distance, so it means that we're actually not going to see as many animals because they'll mostly run away from us, making it much more difficult to hunt, which is fine. It's good to have some challenge. But the good news here is that we'll have a workbench. And we'll have a large supply of animals to hunt. I'm thinking, much I want another bow, I think we'll probably end up making a travois as well. Travois would make this challenge a lot easier. Hauling meat around. be running away from us? Spooked. Yeah, I know it says wildlife is passive, but I'm still paranoid. I'm still worried that it's going to turn out that there's one rogue wolf that decides to bite me anyways. Yeah, folks, do not do this on an interloper or stalker run. The wolves will come and eat you. This is pilgrim behavior. But it does mean when we go to hunt them, it's going to be more interesting. We did do a hunting tournament one time, the All Your Bases tournament, where there was a certain amount of hunting, and the whole challenge was set in Pilgrim. So that meant like everything had, you know, sensitivity to you and nothing wanted to engage you. So everything ran away. We had to kill a number of wolves and a number of bears, and it was hard. Had to get used to shooting wolves at some great distance and having to wait for the exact moment to strike.
This'll come in handy. Guess be prepared for anything.
Yay, we made it in. Okay. Wish we can find some birch saplings, but yeah, those are not coming along. Okay.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Wow, we're cold. Frozen solid.
I think I can use this.
Oh. Guess we know where we're going. Another box of crackers. Well, I guess we might make it
It'll be useful.
2 hours. We'll see.
You never know. Could end up being useful. This stuff will come in handy.
Look, another pry bar. So many pry bars. I think it's 5 pry bars this run. Okay, let's evaluate what we got here. So, how many pieces of coal do we need? We need 8 pieces of coal. We do not need 25. So, let's put down our 8 here. Wow, we got lots of matches. What else can we leave behind? We got lots of scrap. We'll probably make some more. You can even use this right now. Miner's flashlight. Pretty cool. Big wide beam. I think we'll leave the exploring of the other area for later. Instead, we're just going to sleep in here. Hey, let's figure out what we're eating and drinking. Okay, before we wrap up here, let's take a look at where we're at. We're at 14 days survived, maybe a little bit longer. Taking it kind of easy, honestly. I think we should be at 15 days here in a second, so. Oh, and we killed another rabbit. Let's see, double check that. I think we're at 11 rabbits now. Yeah. Two deer, 11 rabbits, 3 ptarmigan. Okay, bright new day. We'll do our exploring next stream. So yeah, so here we are. We are on day 14, almost 15. We have made it to Broken Railroad. We'll probably be here for a while. Lots to do, lots to explore. Because we spent 1 day in Transfer Pass, 8 days in Forsaken Airfield. Where's the rest of our time? That didn't sound right. We're missing hours, days. 14 days survived. Okay. Okay, so we'll pick this up next time. Let's figure out. Maybe we'll do one more poem for the evening. Here we go. Also want to adjust this a little bit. That's a little bit brighter. Okay, we'll try that. Okay, so let's read a poem here. We are back in with more poems to read. Hermit. Well, is my life? Kind of. So this comes from my first book of poetry, The Lost Country of Sight. Let's see if you can see it. There it is. Lost Country of Sight. Winner of the Philip Levine Prize, published by Anhinga Press in 2008. This poem is called Hermit. And let's see if I can pull this up here. There it is. And I think we'll pull up. It's late enough I need my glasses. Where'd my glasses go? Yep, they're there. Okay. How the world is full of silence, you say to yourself, closing the door behind you as you slip back into your cell, like a ghost or a letter returned unopened, its words unweighed, unknown, a cloud before rain, before storm, a bottled wish in a sea of gray with nowhere to go. You stand next to the gas stove, listening to the steady click-click of sparks in the empty space, trying to set the invisible aflame. And when it catches fire at last, you watch it rush outward as if mad, driven by a hunger for air, for something to say to the dark and metallic world. So, the poem comes about, I think it was actually kind of a throwaway poem. It was a poem I wrote when I was still working as a computer games programmer in Los Angeles. And I had a decent apartment. You know, I had a nice 1-bedroom apartment in Glendale, and I would work in Culver City. I had a long, horrible drive. But I'd get back to that apartment. The apartment was a good size and quiet neighborhood and clean. I liked it, but honestly, it was kind of empty. It was empty because work consumed so much of my life that it was just a place to kind of crash at night. And I had intended it to be more, but I could never really achieve that because I was always, work just ate so much of me up. And so I would come home, often exhausted, late at night, to this empty apartment, and I would stand in front of the gas stove in the kitchen, and in those moments of like absolute exhaustion, staring at the stove, waiting for the sparker to ignite the gas, you know, I'd just be waiting for something to happen. And so that's kind of the image that started the poem, was, you know, this type of reclusive life that you sometimes end up in, you know, working in technology. It can feel that isolating. So I'd written about that, and I thought, like, well, I don't know how many people really will connect with that, and if that's really all there is to it. And I would occasionally read it at open mics, and But for the most part, I didn't really think much about it until one day I was reading it and as part of a set, and someone came up afterwards and said, "You know, that's a fantastic ars poetica," which is Latin for like art of poetry or the art of creation. It's kind of a way of saying that the poem is about the art of making poetry. It's kind of a way of describing what it is to make a poem. And I thought about it and I thought, you know, it's a great insight. And I hadn't thought about it that way, but it is really, that's what it is. It's like there's so much that you want to say to the world, you don't know how to say. And then the inspiration comes, but it doesn't necessarily come immediately. So you're standing there in the empty kitchen waiting for the spark to ignite into something to say. And that is kind of very much about like what it is to write, what it is to create, and what it is to wait for that spark of inspiration to happen. So I'm grateful for that insight, and it just goes to show that sometimes you write something, you don't fully understand the things that you're writing. You understand them on an unconscious level, but sometimes it takes a smart reader to see what you can't see, and for them to ask the right questions so that you can come to see your own work in a better light. So yeah, in the end, I started to realize that it actually did fit within that collection. So. Okay, so we're going to wrap up here. We are on day 14. So we're slow going while we're tired and somewhat still suffering with back pain. But we're going to wrap up here at the 2-hour mark. We're going to go find some other delightful person to raid. And I will thank you all once again for being a part of this this gathering tonight. Thank you for those that came in with the raid, that stuck around. Thank you for much appreciated. Ooh, boy, tired. Flashbang for dropping in with your friends, and we're going to let's find someone to drop in ourselves then. Let's find a new person. Who's up tonight? Nebs is up. Let's do Nebs. Silent Wrangle. Okay. So yeah, we'll just pop in on Nebs. I'm going to get ready for bed soon because I am tired and my feet are tired and my back is tired. So many things are tired. Okay, so we're going to head over there. Thank you all. And get this raid started. Okay, so we're loading up the raid. If you want to join us, welcome to. If not, we'll catch you again on the other side. Okay. Thank you all. I'll be back tomorrow night, I think, and we'll see you then. Bye.